speaking of using your tongue, as we continue the timeline on Sunday Night Heat, you'd wrestle our
Who?
old friend Dennis Knight, the Midian,
Oh,
my friend.
naked Midian. What was he at this point, though? He was still,
I think Dennis Knight, or was
was he
he?
Dennis Knight? He might have been Dennis Knight.
He might have
He
been.
was probably
Or
Southern
was it Midian?
Justice.
Was he Midian by here? He just
I,
wasn't naked Midian.
I don't think he was Midian here. I think it might have been Dennis Knight and Mark Canterbury. They were Southern Justice, I think.
But you're doing singles with him.
I'm making all that up. Well, we're just
Yeah.
doing singles to get to the 6-man here,
right.
as you'll see. And we're still in another story that's crazy, but this is crazy, okay?
Until otherwise, from now on in this particular episode, I'm gonna call him Midian.
Okay.
Um,
Or Dennis
at-
Knight.
so everybody will know. Yeah, either one. It ends in a DQ and Double J attacks you from behind.
See, he's got supposed to get me them football tickets too. You know what I
This is
mean?
bad.
So I'm just hoping it's not another attack from behind, and I get to Nashville and I have to watch. Actually, it'd be better to probably watch the show in the hotel room on TV. But I'm
I thought you
still
was gonna go to his house.
well. If that's
Ain't he
a-
babysitting Taylor
he-
Swift or whatever
he
he
didn't,
does up
he
there?
didn't offer me to come to his house.
He sent you to the stadium.
No, that's fine.
What do you think of the transition of Jeff from the country music singer to "Don't Piss Me Off," Jarrett?
Look, I think it was a necessary transformation because it was literally the 95 version of Jeff Jarrett, and now we're talking about 98, and the Attitude Era is in full swing. You know what I mean? So it something had to rough up around the edges. This howdy, folks. I'm JEFF. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a different time now, and only in a 3-year span. But the world has changed according to GARP and professional wrestling. You know what I mean? So the world is different now, and so he had to sharpen up in some ways. And look, what better way? His shirt said, "Don't piss me off." You know what I mean?
So
and
good.
I think I actually had one of those shirts. Like that's a good shirt. You know what I mean? It was on the cusp of all these moronic new shirts that are out now. Say like mountain critters on them and stuff like that.
Speaking of, while we're here, our old friend Midian, did you always have fun working with him?
Oh man, always. And I remember we talked on the podcast when he was on. Please go back in the archives if you hadn't seen that one, or listen to it and do so because you will laugh until you pee yourself. I mean, and if peeing yourself is something you are interested in, please jump on board. But yeah, Midian, he told a story about he came to under contract with WCW. He came to like Rome, Georgia, and worked an indie show against me with a hood on, just because we were marks and loved wrestling and loved being in the ring. And he like injured himself in the match, and was all hurt for the next 6 months. But yeah, he just a great friend. I've been through so much with him, and it's in the ring. It was always a pleasure. And you know, like I always talk about, when you're in there with somebody you love or your brother or something, things get really snug and tight in there, but in a good, safe way. You know what I mean? Like it looks like, oh, they're laying stuff in. You know what I mean? They're getting at it in there.
Yeah.
It's fun when you're young.